Hey guys, it's Thursday. All right, let's do some math. Okay, yesterday we introduced decimals and we were just understanding how decimals and fractions, how they equal, how they're equivalent. Now we're gonna work on rounding decimals, okay? But let's just do a little reminder, equivalent decimals. So if I did, let's just say I did 0.3. That's the same thing as 0.3 if I added a 0, right? I can keep adding zeros to the end and they're the same. But when we write them in fraction, this 3 is in the 10th spot. Wait, not 3. There we go. Yeah, is in the 10th spot. Well, this 3, now it's not 3, it's 30 is in the 100th spot. Now it's 300 and we're in the, whoops, I keep messing up, 1000th spot, okay? See how I keep adding a 0 to the end of my decimal, but I keep adding a 0. If I add a 0 up here, then I add a 0 down here. Do you guys see that? Those are all equivalent fractions, equivalent decimals. All right, guys? Rounding decimals. Rounding is all the same. Remember the rule for rounding? 5 and up, you go up. 4 and below, you stay. Well, decimals is the same thing because you can do, if we look on a number line, say I have 0.3, 0.4. I can split this still into 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So this becomes 0.31, 0.32, 0.33, you know, and on, okay? All right, let's just say where to round, let's just pick 0.34. Does that go round, stay to 0.3 or go up to 0.4? Well, where is it on the number line? It's right here, right? 0.34. The same rules apply, decimals, in like if you are doing whole numbers. 5 and above, you go up. 4 and below, so you're saying half. Half and up, you bump up. 4 and below, you keep it down, you round down. So rounding this would be 0.3. See where it is? Okay. Kind of confusing. No, it's not really confusing. It's the same rules, okay? The same rules apply. All right? So, let's just go right on into it. I know you like it when I just get right into the lesson, okay? Let's do some of these together. All right, number 1. We are gonna write equal or not equal to compare. So if you have 0.50, is that equal or not equal to 0.500? It's so confusing when they put the circles, zeros. I'm gonna do a square, how about that? All right, is that equal or not equal? You can't answer me. I know what you guys would all be saying. You all would be saying it's equal. I just added a 0. Remember, those are still equivalent fractions. I didn't change anything. I can add zeros all day long and they would be equivalent. All right, number 3. I have 0.004. Is that equal or not equal to 0.4? Well, remember how I said, hey, no please. No please, not at the table. Thank you. Remember I said you can add zeros to the end and they would be equivalent? Well, it doesn't work if you're talking about adding zeros to the left, right? You have to look at what place value the 4 is in. The 4 is in the place value tenths, hundredths, thousandths. But right here, it's in the tenths. They're not equal, okay? They're not the same, okay? Sorry. It's a lot harder to teach from home. We've got a lot of distractions. All right, number 5. Is 1.7 equal or not equal to 1.70? You guys go ahead and do it on your own. I'll give you a second. I'll pretend that you guys are doing it. I'm watching you. I know if you're not actually doing it. All right. It is definitely equal. Same thing. All you did was add a 0 at the end. Okay. Number 7 is 3/10 equal or not equal to 0. Samantha, please stop. 30. Well, where's the 3? I know you say this is 30 hundredths, but isn't the 3 in the 10th spot? Yeah, it is. The 3 is in the 10th spot. So that's 3/10. Because this, I could write this out in fraction, 30 hundredths, but I could take away a 0 and make it 3/10. So it's equal. Okay. We're going to write equivalent decimal in hundredths. So we're going to make sure that we're either going to add a 0 or take away a 0, okay? Let's just do a couple of these. 9 is 0.7, and you're writing it in hundredths. Right now it's in tenths. So all I do is add a 0 to that, because now it's 70 hundredths. Number 11 is 0.900. They want it in hundredths. Where is it now? It's in thousandths. So this one, I'm just taking away a 0 to make it be in hundredths. All right, guys. If you're not caught up, pause it right now because I'm going to erase this. Pause it, but let's move on, okay? We are going to mark on the number line the decimal, and then we're going to round to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so 13. They want you to mark, it says 7.236 rounds to, and they want it to the nearest hundredth. Right? Is 100. Well, we can do this without a number line, but we'll do the number line later. It's the same thing. You look at the number to the right. If it's 5 and above, it goes up, right? So this should be 7.24. Well, let's look at the number line that they give you. They start at 7.230, and they go all the way to 7.240, right? Yeah. Eight, 9, and that's 10. Okay, so where is 7.235? They put this, because you guys all know I took the 0 away. This is the same thing as 7.23 and 7.24. Got it? So we're rounding to the nearest 100. It's either going to go down to stay at 7.23 or go up to 7.24. Where is 7.236? Well, I have 7.231, 7.232, 7.233, 7.234, 7.235, 7.236. 6, right? Oh, and I think they marked on here. Yes, they did. They put 7.23. That's on your number line. But here's 7.236. This is my halfway, right? Anything here and above goes up. Anything below goes down. So, we're right on the money. All right. 15. We are going to round to the nearest tenth. Okay? So, and then they give you the bubble. Ooh. So, we're rounding to the nearest tenth. I like to put a mark underneath to remind me. Remember, when we're rounding, we look at the number to the right, okay? And we say, is this 5 and above? Yes, so this bumps up to 8. So this becomes the 2 stays the same. We only change the 7 to an 8, okay? It's the same thing that we've been working on for rounding. It's just now decimals, okay? Remember how we keep rounding, we keep everything to the left, right? We only change the place, the number and the place value that they want you to round to, okay? All right, so 17. 17 is 10.319, right? We're rounding to the nearest tenth still. My number to the right is a 1, so that keeps the 3 where it's at. 19, 8.23 becomes, what do you think it is? You guys do it on your own. I'll give you a few seconds. All right, if you got 8.2, give yourself a pat on the back. High five, air high five. All right. 21. We are comparing, and it's either greater than, less than, or equal to. All right. 8.345 greater than, less than, or equal to 8.349. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, Mr. Brewer's texting me. He's getting stuff. Okay. So, just like when we're comparing, we start with the first number. See how they both have 8? And then at 0.3, they're the same, 4. Now we get to the difference, 5 or 9. Well, 9 is bigger, isn't it? So I want a chompy. That one, okay? 23. I hope you guys can see this. 0.30 is greater than, less than, or equal to 0.300. That's the same thing as we learned before. They're equivalent because all I did was add in 0. That doesn't change anything. So that's equal to. All right, guys. I'm going to just do 24 together, and then you guys can do most of page 300 on your own. You should be able to do all. It's all about the same. Remember some of these things, word form, standard form, right? You guys might have to brush up on that, okay? But let me erase this, and we'll do 24 together. All right. So, 24. It says, Mrs. Crawford bought 2.5 pounds of potatoes. Mr. Crawford bought 2.5 pounds of potatoes. Who bought more potatoes? Explain. So they want, really they're saying 2.5. Who bought more? 2.5 or 2.5? What is, let's write this out. Let's get them into either both fraction form or decimal form. Let's turn this one into fraction form. What's 0.5? Isn't that the same thing as 2? It's equal to 2 and, no, I don't want to do that. 2 and 5 tenths, right? Right? What is it? 5 tenths. Can't I reduce that to what? I can. They're equal. A lot of these, remember what I said about quarters? Oh, my naughty kitties are getting into the trash. Sorry, distracting. Quarters, right? 0.25, 0.50, 0.75. 0.5 is half of a dollar, okay? So, see, we can show that in fraction form, but you guys need to get used to seeing that and recognizing that, okay? So, what we can write is, they both bought the same, right? Right? And explain is because you can just say 2.5 is equal to 2.5. All right? Okay, guys. I hope you're having a good time. I'm going to try to figure out maybe some way that we can all talk to each other or something like that. But bless you. Today's Thursday. We would normally worship together. So maybe put on some worship music and do a little worship on your own. Might be kind of nice. I will definitely be doing that. I will also be going over a little bit of English. It's just the cumulative review, but some of the things we haven't really worked on. So I'll be posting that video later today. And also I will be posting the next chapter of Prince Warriors. All right? Miss you guys. Love you guys. Blessings.